Start the recording. So we're going to open it up for any questions, and if anybody wants to share, about 15 minutes for questions. So if anybody would like to, yeah, Nancy.
Hi. So I'd like to ask you if you could help me with this understanding how my core fear protected me, or my gremlin. So my core fear is lonely, dying alone, which comes from my childhood. I grew up like an only child. So I just have this core fear of being alone all the time. So, and then dying alone. So, how would you say that my gremlin saying you're all alone, there's nobody to take care of you, is protecting me?
Yeah, that's a great question. Um, and also want to just appreciate your vulnerability here, sharing
Mm-hmm.
of all of us. Um, so I think, okay, so first of all, what when you did the process, what was the message that the gremlin had for you specifically?
You're um you're gonna die alone.
You're gonna die alone. Okay. So that's one thing to look at is like, what did that push you to do in your life? This thought or this.
Make friends.
Okay, yeah. So
Invest in relationships, become a coach, help other people.
okay, yeah, all right. Okay, got it. So it actually pushed you to make friends, to invest in relationships, and then even becoming a
Mm,
coach, right? So
mm,
that's one place to look at, right? And it's
mm,
like because
mm,
I had
mm,
this fear, it pushed me to not be alone, to put myself out,
mm,
actually connect with
mm.
people,
I see.
right? So that's something that you can be grateful for. Now, of course, like it's not a great feeling to come from a place of fear, right? To have to always act
Mm-hmm.
on fear, and we don't actually want to operate from a place of fear.
All right.
But regardless, there's still some kind of result that your gremlin was trying to push you towards,
Mm. I
which
see.
it
Okay.
sounds like was to connect with people and to even ended up becoming you serving people as a coach. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So the question you asked, which what was your, that was a really good question.
Yeah, the question,
What was
what did that fear push you to do in your,
oh, okay. What did the fear push you to do? Okay.
yeah.
Or the feeling of loneliness push you to do, which
Mhm.
is to invest in relationships. And yeah.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay. Okay.
Or the message. What did the message push you to do, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Okay, great. Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. That's a great question. Opened up something
Mm-hmm.
new. Thank you
Mm-hmm.
for that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyone else have a question, or now, Kimmy, you want to add anything?
Well, I wanted to kind of um, take it a step further and say, ask like, so you got the message, and so you're gonna die alone, and then you got the gratitude point, which is, well, that really helped me to make friends and even drive me and that kind of stuff. But then the question is, well, what's the you know support share instead? Like knowing
What's the what?
what's the support cheer?
Oh,
The
the support cheer.
Yeah,
Okay.
how would you phrase that same message that you were receiving that did drive you to make friends and develop yourself and so on and so forth, but coming from a place of fear, how
Mm,
to change that fundamental message
mm.
that still gets you the same outcome in terms of reaching out, but it's not driven from fear, right? So what's the a new message that that is true to you that you want that you'd like your gremlin to say instead?
People like to be around you. You're like, you're not lovable, but likable. You know, you're something. You're
Okay, so
good.
That's great.
you're good. Yeah, you're good. People like to. Yeah,
Yeah, people like when I was a child, would I like, people like to play with you.
yeah. People like to play with you,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
even that phrase from "you're gonna
Mhm,
die
mhm,
alone" to
mhm,
people like to play with you,
mhm,
it gets you to the same space of
mhm,
making friends and
mhm,
becoming training yourself to be able to help others more.
mhm,
But the core shifts from "I'm gonna die alone" to
mhm,
people really enjoy playing with you.
mhm.
And if you train your gremlin to
Yeah, yeah,
use that phrase instead, it's a totally different
yeah.
foundation from which you engage in relationships.
I see. Okay. So that support chair is really important.
Right.
And
'Cause
yeah, it's hard to get there in 15 minutes. So that's
Yeah,
why I
yeah.
was like,
15
oh
minutes
my
is hard.
God. Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, you'd probably need a full 40 minutes to go
yeah,
through this exercise with the client. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, thank you. Yay.
Awesome. Thank you, Nancy. That's great. I see Wayne, your hand up. Unmute yourself. You can.
I just want Nancy to know that I love her. I don't know if she remembers me, but we went fundraising together about 50 years ago, a
Oh,
few times, and Nancy was the kindest. Um, I was not a good fundraiser. She was much better than I was. So sometimes she'd help me a little bit, like here's $10. Don't go back to the van empty-handed.
oh my goodness. Wow.
I don't know if you remember that. I remembered it. Like that struck me. Like wow, Nancy is such a good person.
No, thank you for the
So
appreciation. Thank you, Wayne.
so, so don't feel too lonely because there are people out there who love you, Nancy. Just want to know that.
Okay. Out there somewhere.
I'm
Beautiful.
sure at home too.
That's great. Awesome. Would anybody else like to share how the Gremlin transformation experience was for yourself or also for your partner? Of course, keep things confidential if you want to share what you observed in the experience or ask a question. We still have about 7 minutes. How about Mr. Kubota? How was it for you?
Yes, I was so lucky to have Nancy as my
Oh,
peer
you were Nancy's
during this
peer.
time.
I didn't realize that.
We went so deep, and yeah, I was really looking for to be coached by myself by professionals. So that was really God responded my prayer. I felt, and
Mm,
yeah, I really appreciate it this
mm,
time.
that's awesome. Thank you, Mr. Kubota-san. And how about looks in the chat? I saw Shauna mention Michiko had a very powerful experience. You want to share a little bit, Michiko-san?
Yeah, this time Shona coaching to me, and so I really more liberate feeling, and so my past I was really living hell feeling since I joined church, and for that do maybe 40 since breast 41 years, and oh that's for me living hell, and um from and but I really I can see I step up little by little. I break through, and I can really look at my back, and this with Shona's counseling and Shona's coaching. I really felt, oh, I should liberate my past. 5 years old Michiko and 10 years and teenagers. And since joined, I suffer so much. I really consoled, and the marriage life. Oh my gosh, living hell marriage life. And I didn't divorce it. I keep going to try to love him, my husband. So much effort. I really and no one understand that I had resentment, but I can now liberate it. I can really love myself. I can liberate my past, and so I can feel really become more free to and going to next level. If you think about my past, I sometimes I cry my for so miserable my past and reality and the goal. Our idea is so different since join church. My idea is so difficult and my reality is so difficult, but I didn't run away. Keep trying to condition, and prayer, prayer. So I really, whatever central figure said, I did, and I did everything like a slave I do, and that's not for gratitude, but for mission. But everything come out to build up. I'm so grateful with this Achieve program also. So now I sympathize and consult and hugging to my old Michiko, and I totally become free person. So I'm so I
Wow. Oh
really
my
this time
gosh.
I'm so Shona's coach. I really feel, oh my gosh, I going to different level more. That's kind of I got hope. Thank you,
Amazing.
Shona.
That's incredible. Thank you so much, Michiko. I could feel your energy is so powerful, and really this sense of liberation. Amazing. Um, okay, so if no one has any further questions, we could move on. Um, so I did see a question in the chat about the connection between gremlins and guardian angels. Yeah, I'm not a spiritualist, so I can't speak on the realities of the spirit world, but I've definitely heard similarities to naming your angel and kind of relating with your angel in that way. So personally, I feel like there definitely could be a connection. Um, but yeah, maybe it'd be good to ask someone who's spiritually open. There's some kind of connection like that. That would be interesting to hear. Okay, so we're gonna go on to the last part of today. Okay. Okay, so the last part of today is we're gonna go into briefly about marketing, because I know many of you have kind of asked about how to market yourself as a coach, how to market, coaching programs. And so I wanted to just share a few tips based on my own experience and also our experience actually marketing the Achieve program, right? Believe it or not, you are all a product of our marketing. So these tips do work. And if you apply them yourself, then yeah, you can get results. So the first tip I want to share is that people don't buy life coaching. Okay. Don't get sad about that. But this is the reality, is that people are not going to just buy life coaching. So if you say, hey, you want to buy my life coaching product? Say, I don't know if I really need that. But what people do buy is people buy results. So people will buy the results of what your coaching can offer them, right? So people buy results. People also buy solutions to problems. So if they have some kind of problem that's in their life, some kind of challenge that they're going through, and you are offering a solution to that problem, people, if they feel a strong enough desire to make a change, and they really can see what you're offering as a solution, then people will be willing to invest in that, in the solution, in the product that you're offering. So this is a really important thing to understand. I know it seems simple, but it's a big mistake that we often make is we're trying to, sell the what we're doing. We're trying to say, oh, I'm a life coach, or even you can make it a little more specific, say, I'm a health coach, or I'm a relationship coach. Do you need help in your relationships? But what works better is when you're talking about specific results that you can offer or specific problems that you can solve. So example for that is like how we are marketing this upcoming Achieve program, right? So we're not just saying, hey, there's a great, life and leadership coaching program. Would you like to sign up? Coaching's so great. It's going to change your life. It's wonderful. But actually, what we're more focusing on is, the themes of the webinars. It's never just Achieve webinar. It's never just learn about the Achieve program. It's turning your inspirations into results. Like, yeah, this is a challenge that, we're all dealing with. And, before we started marketing the Achieve program, we took a ton of time to think about that. Like, what are some of the challenges that a lot of our target audience might be dealing with, right? And a big part of our target audience are members of Family Federation. It's kind of our closest network. And we kind of thought about it and we realized, well, a lot of people are going through these inspiring workshops right now, and they're wanting to make changes. They're wanting to make a difference. They're coming out of it. But we've all been there where we've been inspired and it didn't lead to anything substantial, like in the long term. So let's talk about that. Let's show people a pathway towards how to turn those inspirations into actual results. And that's a much easier thing to sell than just a program itself. So we're selling the results. We're selling the ability to change an inspiration and turn it into a result in this webinar, right? And we've done kind of customized webinars in the past, like how to build your tribe, how to raise up leaders, thinking about who your audience might be and what their problems are and what kind of solution can you offer to help them resolve their problem. So it's the difference between, I'm selling a life and leadership coaching program versus I'm going to help you turn your inspirations into results. So I hope that makes sense. It's really important the way that we talk about our coaching, to talk about more of the results than you're talking about, oh, how great coaching is. But it's more about what it's done for you, what it can do for others. And you want to be able to also show them the pathway. So you say, okay, so this is the result that we're telling you that we can help you get this result. And then people also want to know, well, okay, how do you do that? What's the way that you actually get me there? So you show them a pathway. You have to have some kind of system that people can follow to get to where they want to be. So that's why, a lot of times it doesn't work to just kind of try to sign someone up for like pure life coaching, so to speak. Whereas in pure life coaching, what I mean by that is, just say, yeah, through life coaching, I can help you. We're going to get on a call every single week, and we're just going to talk about whatever comes up for you. And I'm going to help guide you towards, through your challenges every single week for the next 10 weeks. It's kind of like, okay, I have no idea how that could possibly work if we're just getting on a call every week and we're just dealing with my problems every week. But if you say, I've got a process, I've got a 10-step process, I've got 15 steps that can help you to bring your inspirations and turn them into results. What do we call that in our Achieve? We say that's the wiser process, right? We got the wiser process. It helps you create your identity statements, and then can help you set a breakthrough goal. And then from there, we help you to prioritize your life and your schedule, plan out the action steps, and you're kind of giving them a sense of, oh yeah, well, it kind of makes sense if I did those things and I went into the system, that I would be able to get the results that you're promising. So you want to give them a little taste of the journey ahead, right? So whatever that's going to look like, if you're really serious about, creating your own kind of coaching practice, this is a tool for you. that we kind of created that you can utilize, but also you might come up with your own thing. But the important thing is that you have a very clear process that you're offering. And then, yeah, there will be times where you're kind of free flowing and you're going off the process and you're going more into the dance of the coaching, but you're still able to show them that there is a process here that if we can follow it, it can actually get you to where you want to be. So talk about the result and then talk about the process that you can take them through to get the result. And then the last point that I want to mention is the importance of having systems in place, right? There's a lot of people who go through coaching training, and there's a lot of people who don't make it as a coach. Just the reality, as a, even part-time, full-time, there's a lot of people who don't make it. It's not because they're not a great coach. That's not the problem, that they're just not a good enough coach. Sometimes, we might get down on ourselves, like, oh, I'm just not good enough. I don't have the skills. I don't have the confidence. But often what's the main thing that's lacking in a coach that's not making it work financially as a lifestyle, as a coach, is they don't have the proper systems in place to allow them to sustainably live as a coach and work as a coach. So what are some of these systems that I'm talking about? So here are some examples. So there's several steps to a good system that you're going to need. One is marketing, and then education, conversion, registration, delivering. So marketing is all about, how do people get to know that your program actually exists? How do people get to know that you exist and that you have something to offer? So there's no one way to do this. There's so many opportunities, so many ways to do this. You just have to choose something and go with it, right? Think about the channels that you have available to you, the opportunities you have. For us in marketing, Achieve, it's, we know that we have a leaders meeting every Tuesday that meets with about 120 leaders from around the nation. There is an opportunity to let people know that this exists. Word of mouth is its own form of marketing, is people sharing about your program based on the results that they got. Emails, sending out emails to contacts and friends, building up your email list. So, you do one program, we do one Achieve, and then now we have a list of 150 people that already took the program, that we now have contact information that we can send things to. TribeNet for, I'm just talking about our world. For Achieve, we have this program called TribeNet that we knew has about 200 people that we could get people to know that this program is happening and exists. There's a network of communities that we utilize. So thinking about all of these different channels, and if you just, think about it, give yourself some space to actually, think about it and put pen to paper, I'm sure you'll find that you actually have many ways that you can let people know that you exist, and that you have something to offer. The second point is education, and this is where people learn how do people get to know what you can do for them. So there's ways that you can do this through having website, through having blog posts. People can check out your website and see, oh, this is what this person is teaching about or talking about. This is what this person is kind of like. For us, we did, the first step for the education was a promo video, right? 7-minute promo video, 5-minute promo video. It shows you exactly, what kind of result you might be able to get. It tells you, about the program, where to sign up and things like that. What's the next step? Conversion. So this is where they get to a point of, they know who you are, they know what you do. So how do I get people to want to sign up with me? And the point here, the main point here, is find a way to add value to people's lives. How do you not just show them what you do, but give them a taste of what you do? So that could look like free free sessions, sample sessions. The way that we're doing it with Achieve is through webinars, where it's not just you're coming to the webinar to understand how to sign up for the program, but you're actually getting a taste of what coaching is like. And the first 15 minutes, it's all about, okay, what is your inspiration actually? And what would it look like to turn that into a goal, and giving them a taste of the experience. And then what we do in the webinar is, because they have a goal now that they already created in the webinar, then it's just like, okay, plug that into our system and allow that goal to become a reality through the Achieve program, right? So building up that desire to, oh, this really could be a solution to this challenge or this problem that I'm dealing with. Registration is how to get people to sign up. And this is pretty simple, because once they already want to sign up, all they have to do is actually sign up. So this is just a system, having a system in place where people can register with you. And for us, it looks like achieve.accelerateministry.com. It's go to our website and put in your details, your card details, and there you go, you're registered. So you have to have something in place for people to sign up with you. That be a, it might start off just a simple, like, it's the coaching agreement, and it's your, and it has the details on how you have payment. But eventually, yeah, you're going to want to have some kind of payment portal or some kind of website where people can register with you. And then the last part, this is what we all love, is to deliver, how to deliver on your promised value. So for us, it's through the Achieve program. It's a 10-week program. We get 8 weeks of group of one-on-one coaching. So yeah, this is where you have something, already have like a program that you're offering, and it's mapped out, it's developed. The first time you do it, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can learn along the way. We always learn along the way, but you have to have something where you can deliver on the value that you promised. And if you just create these systems, I promise you that you can get results. Might take a little bit of tinkering and adjusting, but this is really a simple process that you can use to reach more people. And I really want to encourage that this whole thing that we're doing with Achieve, it's coming up, use this as an opportunity to practice your marketing skills, sending out emails, finding your different channels that you can market the program, educating people, learn by doing, and learn, with us together. I think it's a great opportunity. Yeah, as you know, there's also a little bonus for you guys. When you refer somebody, you can get a $50 bonus for yourself, and referral for the person that is registering. They get, I think, $45 off. And those codes are ready, by the way. We'll send them out very soon so that you all have your own unique code that you can use to invite people to the Achieve program. All right, I know I went through that really quick because we were running out of time. If you missed anything, feel free to watch the recording. So just some homework is to, practice the energy levels and Gremlin transformation with your partner. We only had like 15-20 minutes each to do it this time. It's really not it's not an adequate enough time to really explore these tools. So I definitely do a full session with your partner to explore these tools to their fullest extent before you coach, people from the Achieve program or whatever that might be. It's good to have some practice in these tools. Also, it's getting closer to the Achieve program, so definitely schedule your evaluations with a coach. I sent out an email with all the Calendly links. That's how you schedule. You just click on the Calendly link. If you want a session with a Japanese coach, that's going to be Luke. So you just want to contact him personally to work out schedule. And continue to complete your requirements and invite family and friends to the Achieve webinars. So that's going to be it. And we do have about 7 minutes. We can have some Q&A. If we can't get through all of the questions, we'll always have Monday as well. You can send me an email to follow up on any questions that you have. Okay. All right. So I'll open it up for any questions about could be about marketing, about next steps, or anything else that we covered this week, this weekend. Yeah, Barbara.
Okay, I want to say first, I appreciate today so much, and I appreciate all the questions you gave us, because when I was listening to the examples you did with Raphael, yeah. My question was, how do you come up with powerful questions? So I'm grateful that you just gave me a whole list of powerful questions, but yeah, sometimes I feel like here's somebody's like, okay, this happens to me. I'm talking to my client and I feel like, oh, that's the answer. And I'm being very good and not saying, I'm not telling them the answer, but I don't have the question to like pull out, like they're kind of can't see it. Yeah.
Mhm. Right. Awesome. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that those questions come in handy. And yeah, it'll get very natural as you practice, I promise. Okay, thank you, Barbara. Any other questions or
Maybe I can add, because I think there was another question in that that Barbara was saying. So I think the number one thing is to trust the basic coaching process. So you may immediately have the answer, but it needs to be their answer. So the main flow is, what's their problem? Validate it. What do they really want instead? And what can they do to get there? Repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. So that's the basic flow of a coaching process. And wherever they're at in their life, through doing that over and over, they're going to get more clear, more into action, more resonating with where they want to go. So you may have an answer from your life experience, but that's different from what they need at the moment. So the first thing is to let go of your own idea of what's good for them. Now, having that said, there are cases when you really feel more intuitively this is what they may need, right? You could ask for permission from your client and say, actually, Bob, there's one thought that's been kind of occurring to me as you were sharing that. Would it be okay for me to share? So it's really important to ask for permission, because you keep the coach in the driver's seat. I mean, the client in the driver's seat. Ask for permission and they say, yeah, sure. I doubt they'll ever say like, no, don't share your thought. So they'll probably say yes. And then you can share that thought, which is, the thought that kept coming was, yeah, is this related to something in your relationship with your mother-in-law or whatever your, intuition is telling you. But as you make a suggestion, it's really important to get the ball back in the client's hand. So you make the suggestion or share the thought, and then conclude with, so that was a thought that occurred to me, but what do you think? So now you're giving it back to them and they're back in the driver's seat. And this is really important so that whatever answer they come up with afterwards, they say like, oh yeah, actually, I think it is related to my mother-in-law. Or they might say, no, I don't think that's it. You have to be able to let it go. And then, okay, and then continue that coaching process. And if they do agree with your suggestion, then because you gave it back to them, they're still taking full ownership over it. Oh yeah, that's a great idea. And then you continue with the coaching process. So there is a case where you can share your insights, but just be aware that shouldn't be your go-to. It should be on an as needed basis.
Sorry, can you just repeat the basic pattern? What's the problem? Validate it.
What do they want? What do they really
do
want instead? That's the ideal. So it's kind of like the fall. the ideal, and restoration. What's their next step to get to their ideal from where they're at?
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, we have time for one last question. Justin?
Yeah, I'll make it quick. Now, Kimi-san, 1 year on GPA is a lot of time to invest. And then my heart goes out to these young kids who are thrown into the world of carp and the diffuse energies there. I don't know, has there been any thought to, because of your 1 year of investment into our faith cultures training program, we'd like to hook you up with this one-on-one coach to help you transition into your bright new future? Would have that helped you? Would have that helped anyone else? Sorry, you can go on to the next question. It's really a rhetorical question.
Yeah, that was a leading question. That was not an open-ended question.
Yes. Sorry for my passive-aggressive stance.
But I believe Justin has an answer to that question.
Do I? Um, my answer is we're working on it. Yes. I think we do have some GPA graduates who are in, not GPA grad, GPA staff that are in this program. I think about 6 of them. Yeah, 6, yeah. 4 young ones and then a couple, actually we might even have more than 6, but yeah, they're in this, and I think they we just checked in with them actually this past Friday, and they definitely see the value. They want to integrate, achieve more into the whole GPA experience. And I think some kind of follow-up program with coaching, that is definitely, I think, in the cards. I mean, I know that the people at GPA know that, that's a concern, and they want to, they're serious about tackling it. So that's my answer.
You liberate me. Thank you for
It's
taming
already
my
happening,
gremlin.
Justin. It's already happening.
Ah, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so that's going to be all the time that we have today. But yes, if you have more questions, feel free to email me, or just come to the next Monday meeting. Yeah, keep sharing about Achieve. If you need any more resources, just let me know. We can see what we can figure out. But you guys were amazing. It was so great to hear from you guys. And now, Kimi,
One final comment is absolutely use Achieve to recruit clients. So you can encourage them to sign up, and they, in their notes when they register, actually, I don't know if there is a section to put notes, but basically we'll have a chance when they choose coaches, they'll have preferences for coach. So they can put like language preference, gender preference, and then there might be a section where they can actually type in a name of a coach preference. And then that way they can actually sign up and receive paid coaching by registering for Achieve and choosing you as their coach. You can have them as your client. And then even after the Achieve program, if they want to continue with you, you can set up a separate arrangement with them. So definitely this program is already designed to help you recruit clients or people who you gave a sample sessions to. They can join the full program and choose you as their coach.
Just one quick question. Is this our last training?
No, we have one more. Yeah.
And is that again, Justin?
When is that? Great question. Let me just pull it up. It is
October 21st.
There you go. I got so many files pulled up. October 21st. There you go. It's our final weekend, and we're going to go over especially group coaching is going to be an exciting topic for that. Okay, so yeah, everything is due basically, Achieve starts on the 30th, so get everything in, I would say probably the 28th is probably the last kind of deadline. So yeah, please do that and be in touch. Thank you all so much. You guys are amazing. God
Thank
bless
you.
you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Take care, everyone. Have a
Have
great
a great
weekend.
Saturday.
Thank you very much.
You.
Okay, thank